Could low early voting turnout change the face of the D.C. mayoral elections? Mayor Vincent Gray gets a run for his money in this year's election against two strong contenders. Early elections ended Saturday.
And today is the last day for open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act coverage. One local center in Washington, D.C. is helping people signing up last minute. While some companies have a delay in sign-up, individual coverage penalties start tomorrow for those who haven't picked a healthcare plan. District Wire News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Monica Fiddler.
And I'm Mary Bowerman. Today is the deadline to sign up for health insurance under the Affordable Care Act. More than 6 million Americans have signed up so far. Deontay Smith shows us how people in D.C. are rushing to sign up before deadline.
St. Mary's Maternal and Child Care Center is hosting sign-ups for the last day of open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act. The center, located on the 3900 block of Georgia Avenue Northwest, looks to reach minorities who haven't signed up yet. The executive director of DC Health Benefit Exchange Authority spoke of the importance of hosting events at community centers.
Yeah, this is terrific. I really applaud Maria Gomez for her commitment from day one to implementing the health care reform law. And today's event is going to help us educate even more consumers about the deadline. So anyone out there who doesn't know, today is the deadline to enroll. So please come here. Please come to any of our enrollment fairs, and please enroll today.
Local Elsa Alfaro is signing her and her 4 kids up today.
I registered today because there is now they put on the Obamacare, and this will help us when we make an appointment. We won't have to pay as much. If we didn't have health insurance, we would have to pay double. But now it'll be different because we have health insurance.
This is Deontay Smith, District Wire News.
Last week, Maryland passed a bill banning discrimination based on gender identity. Fairness for All Marylanders Act of 2014 will protect transgenders from labor, housing, public accommodation, and employment discrimination. The bill was sponsored by Democrat Rich Madaleno, the only openly gay member in the Senate.
D.C. Mayor Vincent Gray is barely beating Councilmember Muriel Bowser in Democratic primary polls. Gray lost ground after an investigation concerning campaign funds threw a shadow on his bid for re-election. While he hasn't been charged, Bowser was quick to take advantage. Our political reporter Ray Daniel was in D.C. this morning covering the final day of the campaign before tomorrow's primary. She is here in the studio with the latest.
Thanks, Mary. 8 candidates are on this year's Democratic mayoral ticket. The big day for the primary starts tomorrow, and people working the election polls are ready to see a high turnout. With elections for the Democratic mayoral primary happening tomorrow, candidate Muriel Bowser and current mayor Vincent Gray are in a statistical tie. According to a Washington Post poll last week, 30% of likely voters say they will be voting for Bowser, while 27% say they are for Gray. Public Information Officer Tamara Robinson says even though their early voting turnout was lower this year than in 2010, she's hoping tomorrow's numbers will be high.
Well, we're shooting for a 40% voter turnout. We have 143 precincts that will be open at 7 a.m. sharp tomorrow, and so we've done a lot of outreach and media and advertising, just reminding people that tomorrow is the primary. We want them to come out and vote and cast their ballots, and we hope to see them tomorrow.
You can still vote early today at any of the city's 13 early voting polling places. And for those that haven't registered, you are still able to do so at these polling places and cast your vote through special ballot. And write-in candidate Octavia Wells says she's hoping residents will give her a chance to create necessary change in the D.C. community.
I've been here in D.C. I have met felons, many felons, that have said that they do not have the right to vote anymore. Some of them have actually signed legal paperwork that says that they do not have the right to vote and got their rights to vote taken away. I want to restore that.
The polls will be open at 7 tomorrow morning to 8 in the evening. Registered voters can find their polling place online at docboee.org. Back to you, Mary.
Thanks, Ray.
More young people are turning to the Democratic Party, according to a new Gallup poll released on Friday. One reason may be that young voters are becoming more diverse. Tina Lee explains.
According to a new poll, young adults are more likely to identify with the Democratic Party. A survey released by Gallup Friday showed only 36% of young adults identified as Republicans. 54% of the 18 to 29 years old surveyed said they were Democrats. The increasing popularity of the Democratic Party could be influenced by surroundings.
Personally, I identify as a Democrat, and most of my friends are Democrats.
You know, my mom's a Democrat, and so those are values that she instilled in me, and I,
Party identification is strongly influenced by family.
As the U.S. population becomes more ethnically and racially diverse, Gallup suggests political affiliations are affected, especially with young Americans who are leaning towards the more liberal party. American University political professor says the Republican Party needs to work on attracting a younger and more diverse base.
I think the hope of the Republican Party is that some of these minority groups other than African Americans will, as they become more assimilated and more entrenched in U.S. society, that they will change their positions and then be more likely to vote for the Republican Party.
Gallup also said that in recent years, young adults who previously aligned more with Republican Party have shifted to Democratic. For District Aware News, I'm Tina Lee.
A deadly hit and run Friday left one man dead. Laurel County Police say the driver, Antoine K. Cawley, turned himself in on Sunday. Police say Cawley ran over 24-year-old Matthew Cavan after an argument. Cavan was thrown under a parked car and died. Cawley is charged with first-degree murder.
The annual rates on autism are in. The study found that autism rates among children are rising. Studies show there is a 30% increase in autism. Hafsa Kamal has more.
April marks the beginning of Autism Awareness Month. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released a report Thursday with new autism rates. The CDC reports about 1 in 68 children has been identified with autism. They say autism is almost 5 times more common among boys. Amy Goodman is the co-director of Autism Now, an information and resource center for individuals with autism.
We want people to be aware, but we also want people to accept autism for what it is. There are a lot of individuals out there who want to be accepted for who they are, not just that they have autism, but that they're very capable individuals who can make a living just like anybody else. Because a lot of people overlook them just because of their differences, and that doesn't have to be. So I hope everybody is able to accept it and to be aware of that it is what it is. People love to be known for who they are, and autism is part of who we are.
To learn more about Autism Now, visit www.autismnow.org. For District Wire News, I'm Hafsa Kamal.
The Maryland Board of Education is allowing school systems to waive up to 5 days of school this year. Most Maryland school systems had 10 to 13 canceled school days because of snowy weather.
Parents know that kids hate waking up early for school. If DC politicians have their way, kids won't have to wake up early anymore. Ariel Barry explains the campaign for later school days.
United States Secretary of Education Arne Duncan is speaking out in support of starting the school day later. Duncan first tweeted about the issue in August, and once again tweeted his support last week, calling the idea common sense. Local school districts are considering making the change, so high school students have the chance to get a healthy amount of sleep.
Our school here starts at 7:17 in the morning, which is among the earliest in the whole country.
Though experts say teens need about 9 hours of sleep each night, the reality is most teens get less than 7 hours.
We're robbing our kids of hours and hours of sleep every single week.
Heather McIntosh from the organization Start School Later says the state and federal governments should take the lead and help local governments make the change.
What if they were to say that no school should start before 8 a.m.? Just like the way they say that lunches have to be served at school.
Experts say starting the school day later reduces the number of absences, tardies, and traffic accidents, and increases students' ability to focus, get better grades, and creates a more positive school climate. Heather McIntosh says this isn't just education policy, it's a public health issue. For District Wire News, I'm Ariel Berry.
Washington ranks among the worst cities in the nation for parking, and parking tickets may play a factor as to why parking is so terrible.
And Facebook joins Google looking to the future of tech with wearable devices. We have a tech guru here to tell us if this is just a trend or here to stay. Stay with us.